Welcome to this explainer. Okay, you know that universal feeling of dread? You've just finished a brilliant essay, your argument is literally flawless, you type that final concluding sentence, and then, boom, the bibliography. If you've ever stared at a massive academic anthology, flipped to a single essay tucked right in the middle, and wondered how on earth you're going to format that without losing easy marks, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the exact Harvard referencing rules for this specific scenario. No stress, just absolute clarity based directly on our source material. Let's get right into it.
So, let's confront the immediate trap almost everyone falls into. Picture this. It's late, you're highly caffeinated, and you've got this massive, heavy textbook sitting on your desk. Printed in giant, bold letters right on the cover are the names of, say, 2 or 3 editors. It looks super official, right? But wait a minute. You didn't read the whole book. You only read Chapter 4, which was written by a completely different scholar, tucked away on page 200. So the burning question here is, who actually gets the primary credit? Whose intellectual property are you actually borrowing?
And this brings us to the absolute golden rule of edited books. The trap is automatically citing that book editor just because their name is printed in massive letters on the spine. I mean, it's incredibly tempting because it's the absolute easiest information to find, but it is completely wrong. The rule is simple. You must record the specific chapter author. You are giving credit for the exact piece of intellectual property you consumed. You're basically tracing the exact lineage of the specific idea you used to back up your own argument. Honestly, just remembering this single distinction is going to save your final paper from instant deduction.
Okay, now that we know exactly whose name goes first, let's build the blueprint. Because academic referencing, it isn't just throwing a bunch of names and dates onto a page to keep your professor happy. Think of it more like a really complex recipe or a highly specific chronological roadmap. The goal is that a reader can walk into a library, pick up the exact same book, and find the exact same sentence you referenced. If you miss an ingredient or, put it in the wrong order, the whole thing just falls flat. Let's break down exactly what you need to gather. Here are the 8 crucial ingredients you have to meticulously gather. You start with the chapter author and the year, followed immediately by the specific chapter title. But you can't stop there. Then you've got to zoom out to the macro level to describe the container holding this chapter. Who edited the book? What's the book's full title? Is it a specific edition? And finally, you anchor the whole thing in reality with the publisher and the exact page range of your specific chapter. It's actually kind of a beautiful flow when you think about it. It takes your reader from a single micro idea all the way out to a physical book on a shelf and then pinpoints the exact pages.
Now here's a sneaky curveball. You might write down those 8 ingredients and think, sweet, I'm done. But Harvard referencing isn't just one universal monolith. It actually shifts slightly depending on where you study. So depending on your specific university's Harvard variant, you might also have to hunt down the exact place of publication, like the actual city where the publisher is based. Historically, this mattered a lot when different cities had distinct printing presses, producing completely different versions of texts. Today, it's really just a crucial reminder that you always need to double-check if your specific department's style guide demands that extra little bit of geographical detail.
Now for some good news. When you are actually in the zone, typing away in the middle of a complex paragraph, the in-text citation rule strips all that massive complexity right away. You definitely don't want to break your reader's concentration by dropping publisher locations and page ranges right in the middle of your brilliant argument. For in-text, it requires just 2 simple, clean pieces of data: the chapter author's surname and the year of publication. That's literally it. It acts as this elegant little signpost, gently pointing your reader down to that massive reference list at the end if they decide they want the full recipe.
But wait, you gotta watch out for the single author exception. That edited chapter template we just mastered, that is strictly for true anthologies. Books filled with totally different authors contributing different chapters. If you flip to the table of contents and realize, oh wow, this entire book actually has the exact same author for every single chapter, then scrap everything we just learned. In that scenario, you aren't dealing with an anthology. You just have one very prolific author. So you simply use the standard whole book template instead. Always take a quick second to check the contents page before you start formatting.
All right, let's talk about a real game changer. Memorizing all these rules is a great academic flex, sure, but having a digital tool to do the heavy lifting for you at 2 in the morning? Undeniably better. Our source text points us to the Harvard Reference Generator, found at harvardreferencegenerator.co.uk. This tool is explicitly designed to take those raw ingredients we just talked about and instantly generate a perfectly formatted, beautifully punctuated chapter reference for your bibliography. Total lifesaver.
But, there's always a catch, right? The golden rule of software is garbage in, garbage out. The machine is literally only as smart as the data you feed it. So before the generator can work its magic, you have to strictly verify 3 things. No guessing allowed here. First, physically look at the chapter's opening page to confirm the author and the exact chapter title.
Second, flip to the book's main title page to confirm the exact spellings of the overarching editors and the book title. And third, verify the exact, full page range of the chapter. If you manually check these specific locations, you guarantee the generator spits out an absolutely flawless, bulletproof citation.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought about this intense, hyper-specific world of academic referencing. We've seen just how precise you have to be. Tracking down authors versus editors, hunting for page ranges, maybe even digging up the city of publication. It is undeniably a lot of meticulous work. But it really begs a larger question. Do these hyper-precise rules fundamentally sharpen our academic rigor by forcing us to be incredibly accountable for every single borrowed idea? Or do they merely test our patience when we're just trying to get to the finish line? Think about that lineage of ideas the next time you sit down to compile your bibliography. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and happy citing.